Welcome
to Leadcast. Let's go.
Intriguing.
Without delay.
Hello and welcome to episode 362 of the Leadcast podcast. I'm your host, Aiden Frost Rockharts, and with me this week is one Colton Blue Basket Sweat.
Dude, stop giving me the second degree of our new circle.
Yeah?
Yeah. What a funny joke. It's just me this week.
I was going to say, I introduced you like Nick was here, but...
Yeah, dude, no, it's just me because Nick's busy improving himself through education.
That's kind of lame. That's actually like some pussy shit, dude.
Yeah, dude, real men are just ignorant and stupid. That's what I learned in America. Here in American
like
school.
Brutes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I guess like he usually goes through like a rundown of stuff. There's not like a ton that we'll be talking about this week, but the main things are in the rising news. We have the patch 9.2, which is the preseason patch. Some news about like some changes to Vi and stuff. We're going to be doing a champion spotlight on Sivir and Ezreal and kind of why they actually shine in this meta where AD carries suck. We have a new roundtable question. And we have some emails, really. And I guess the conclusion to Twitch Rivals, I'm not sure if you watched any of that, but it was pretty good.
I didn't watch the finals, and then I went to watch the VOD, and the commentary is so bad I had to turn it off.
Yeah, I was just watching Yasuo's restream of it.
Yeah, like when I was watching, I was watching Poke's stream of it. And there's like when I watched the actual like official stream of it with the commentating, it was just so bad I didn't want to. So I might try and catch.
Yeah, it just seemed like they didn't care.
They were so low energy and boring. They were bad.
So what about your week? Did you do anything cool?
Anything cool? Not a whole lot. Still been playing around with a lot of D&D stuff, so having fun with that. Made another character that I want to play at some point that I talked to you about. I've been working on our campaign a little bit too, getting some like characters built up and some plot lines for when you guys get out of that dungeon. Played a good amount of Tekken this week, which was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Played so much Tekken when I was a kid, and now having some people to actually play Tekken 7 with. Been playing some Hwarang in the treasure battle, I think is what it's called, and just getting a bunch of like free skins for stuff. So I'm like up to brawler rank, whatever that means. The rank system is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Played a little bit of ranked, which the actual ranked season starts in a couple days, so I'm excited for that. We'll probably grind pretty hard for that, like over the weekend, depending on how busy I am. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Really, I don't think there's anything else too much. We got a decent amount of snow here, but that's not really news to anyone, and not entertaining news.
Yeah.
What's up with you? What have you been up to?
Not a ton. I'm super excited to play ranked when the season comes out. I got pushed back one day from the holiday. So I was like planning on today just like grinding out like all 10 placement games sort of thing, but that didn't really work out. So I'll probably start playing them when I get home from school tomorrow. But yeah, I've been playing a little bit of Tekken, a little bit of PUBG. Other than that, like not a ton. I've just kind of been chilling, I think, for the most part. Tekken's been a lot of fun though. I'm not very good at fighting games, but it's fun to kind of like just like learn one with some people.
Yeah, it's like for me it sucks because like I feel like I'm good, but I know I'm terrible.
Yeah, I just can't retain like combos and stuff like that.
I don't know if it's just me being bad, but like I feel like the combos are a lot more finicky than when I used to play. Like
they feel finicky compared to other fighting games I've played.
I think that's just because there's like a lot of things you potentially can do, and you can accidentally do so many of those. Whereas before I'd learn like 4 or 5 moves on a character and then just like learn how to combo them. Whereas in this one I just end up doing stuff I'm like, oh, that's not what I meant to do. Or like I'll get like a pop up into the air and try and hit my juggle, but I time it wrong and I only get like 2 of the 4 hits and then they get a free punch on me or something.
Yeah, it could be like the buffering could be weird or something too.
But yeah, I've just been having a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. I think that's pretty well everything. I think next week I'll be talking about Kingdom Hearts because that comes out on next Tuesday. So hopefully I'll have that played. But other than that, yeah. Well, let's hop into. Want to jump into the patch first?
Yeah, let me pull up my client.
Pog. Let me just pull up the notes. Actually, yeah, they're there. Cool. I'll start with the first start. So the main thing is the new season starting, I guess, when this episode comes out tonight / tomorrow morning. So you'll have to play through your placements, but they added a new version of placements where you play your first game. It puts you in like a provisional rank that only you can see, and then it shows you what you gain and lose from your next 9 games, and then it gives you your actual rank.
Yeah,
so
well, I think it's that you don't lose anything; you can just gain. I thought that's how that was.
Oh yeah, they don't cost you LP. Yeah. So like,
yeah, so you just start at like a slightly lower point, but you can only gain from there.
And I think as you gain like a lot from what I've seen. So that's kind of cool. I think you can get placed. I think by the end of your placements, you can now like end. I would assume you can end diamond, right? Like based on this now, maybe not because I feel like
sure, but
because say you get placed plat 3 and then you gain like 60 a win or some bullshit number, right? It wouldn't just cap you when you hit plat 100, right?
I don't know.
Huh, we'll have to see. Other than that, they added in iron below bronze and Grandmaster between Master and Challenger. It removed all Division 5s from everything. They've added Ranked Armor, which reflects your current progress. The Season 9 split is now in 3 sections, so there's going to be like 3 kind of mini-seasons with like, I think there's like a week break in between them. There's no reset like on your rank, but it is kind of like a broken up system, so I think it's kind of interesting. And then they've added positional ranks to North America and Korea for the first of the 3 splits to test them, so we get to play with the new positional ranked matchmaking, which I think is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think the thing I'm most excited for is positional rank, honestly, because then like I think it'll just make things feel a lot better, because right, like if you get filled or your teammate gets filled, it won't feel quite as bad. Like you might still lose a lot of those games, but you'll be like, oh well, they're silver in that position anyway.
Or like you'll say you get autofilled your worst roll, and you'll lose only like say like 3 or 4 points on your main roll for losing, which feels good, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
The one thing it seemed like though is that it like, when they were talking about it, it seemed like streaks are more of a thing, I guess, at least for losing, where, like, if you start losing a lot, it starts, like, penalizing more. And I'm a little worried about that, but I guess that's probably just because I'm a really streaky player, because I play when I'm tilted.
Yeah, I just still think they want to, like, try to avoid, like, people trolling on, like, ranks, trolling on roles that they don't care about.
Rolls, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully that combats that a little bit.
Yeah, so moving past that, Silas is going to come out on this patch. Is he already available?
He'll be out tomorrow when the patch hits, yeah.
Yeah.
He looks cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Aatrox, his Q damage ratio and his E recharge time, his Q damage ratio is decreased and his E recharge time is increased, and some Aatrox nerfs, fine by me.
Yeah, fuck Aatrox, he's too strong. Rillian, Q recast time reduced, stun duration shorter for recast quickly, it's longer for bigger stars, so it's just, you can cast it a little bit closer to yourself for just a quick stun, but you still get that big stun, and it's even longer now if you go the distance.
I'm glad they I'm glad they want people to do the big cast thing, because I feel like that's a cool mechanic that's never used.
Yeah, and like it just feels bad that you can't stun somebody that's like inside your stars.
Yeah. Brand, his passive damage over time has been decreased. Not a huge nerf, but definitely one that's probably needed.
So how much do they lower it by?
Only 1% of the target's
1%,
max
yeah,
health.
that's not too much, yeah. Cassiopeia, W cooldown increased late, damage decreased late, so just straight nerfs to her W.
That's weird to me.
It's weird, but it, like, I don't think it really affects her that much. Like, it makes her ever so slightly weaker, but in a way I don't think you'll feel at all.
No, I don't think miasma is like what makes Cassiopeia good or bad. Like, unless they like increase the cooldown by like a lot, but they only increased it by 2 seconds at max rank. So,
yeah, I think the only thing about it that like is really good as the grounded effect, right?
That's why you take it for sure. Galio, though, his Q damage is decreased, the cost is increased, and his E damage is decreased early. It's probably fine.
Yeah, he was real strong. So it looks like just pretty much straight up nerfs right now. Next up, Aurelia. Passive bonus damage for shields removed, thank God. Because that was just a garbage mechanic since always.
Yep.
Q deals bonus damage to minions instead of double damage. So it's just adjusted. R duration decreased late, but the damage is increased, the slow is increased. And it doesn't disarm anymore.
Wait, what? They removed the...
Yeah, because the slow is up to 90% from, is that 60?
Yeah.
The damage is up by 50, 75, 100. Okay, so it's definitely like a quicker thing with damage.
Wait, they removed disarm.
Yeah, so I just find that fucking hilarious. They added 2 new mechanics on Aurelia rework in disarm and bonus damage to shields, and they've now removed them both. Maybe unique mechanics by champion aren't good.
I thought disarm was a cool fucking mechanic. I think
it's a real cool mechanic that they should have given to tanks.
Yeah, it's overloaded on someone who dives you and you need to run away from.
Yeah, no, like, disarm is stupid on Aurelia and it shouldn't be there, but, like, imagine if, like, Braum could disarm. Or something like that, right? Like, give it to tanks, give it to supports. When you add these new mechanics, like, look at characters that exist and build it into your game, right? Like, you can change that stuff.
Oh, I'm actually triggered. I didn't see that when I was reading through the patch earlier. That's crazy. They removed 2 unique mechanics. That's wild. Holy shit. Jarvan, E attack speed increased. Wow. I don't think that changes anything.
Yeah.
That might actually help us clear a little bit. Like 5% at level 1.
5% at 1 is definitely huge for clear speed, but, like, I don't know. I think that the problem with Jarvan is that he's, like, I think he needs lower damage, and they should just make him a much tankier character. Like, they should change how his W works so he can be a real tank, and that, like, you don't do crazy damage. I don't know. I think they should push Jarvan towards the tank role. Because I think that's where really he shines with, like, the ultimate and the CC. And, I don't know.
What if you made his shield ground? Like, his ult did way less damage or something, but he was like a tank. So you ulted people, right? And then you hit your ground move, and they were all actually stuck in your fucking ult that everyone can tumble out of or flash out of or jump out of because there's so much movement creep in this game.
Yeah, I'd be, you know, I think that'd be weird for that to be a ground effect on his shield. I think they'd really need to change that. It'd have to be like a shield bash on the ground, but I could see it, yeah.
It's just like he needs some way that his ult just feels so shitty.
What if just for like the first half second or like first second they were grounded in there as well?
Yeah, like that would even be fine.
Like
it's
he ults them and they're grounded for like the first second. So if you don't flash out immediately when he's casting it, like, I mean, I guess they need to fix that too so he doesn't like follow you.
It's like, I think that's why he's not played as a tank though, is because his ult is just so shitty that, like, I'd say, like, 90 out of the 140 characters in the game can get out of it, that you have to use it as damage. Like, you have to play him, like, damage, or else it's useless, so.
Anyway, that's Jax. That's Jarvan. Up next is Jax. Attack damage decreased, Q damage decreased as well.
Do you see his attack damage what it's decreased by?
1.07? Okay. Nice. Yeah, he's, Jax isn't OP because he's got 1 more attack damage than he should. It's because Essence Reaver's busted with a Z.
Someone on our Discord, let me check who it was. Guitar Guru. He said, balanced by a supercomputer. Remember when we made that joke a couple, like, weeks ago? Where, like, you'd have, like, all these little minor changes that the game, like, could detect to change them. That's one of those, dude. That's the type of change where you're like, who the fuck decided that he needed 1 point whatever less AD?
Who's the person who decided that he needed 69.07 attack damage at level 1?
I mean, that's definitely a relic of the past.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Ugh, yuck. Here's another good change. Cassidon, armor decreased. So they decreased his armor by 3.3, and then decreases armor growth by 0.4. So at level 18, he's down, I think, 11 armor or something.
I mean, I guess that's good to give him more counterplay if you just pick, like, you know, the Talon or the Zed into him. I'm fine with that.
I just feel like 4 armor at level 1 isn't enough. 4 is not a lot.
It is at those levels, though. Like, if you
like
only have... Like, the difference between 19 armor and 24 armor is, like, 4% damage.
Yeah, but I
Because
feel
like that, like, at that low number, it's just, like, 1% per armor, basically.
it's more the fact that I think Cassidon's bonkers when he gets to late game, and he's still a ticking time bomb, and that needs to be addressed somehow.
Maybe if they increase the cooldown on his ultimate.
Maybe that's what, like, they shouldn't have reverted all those changes to his ultimate.
Yeah. Kane, transformation rules are now smoother and more intuitive. So
Thank
this
God.
is just where your blue orbs and your red orbs basically stack separately, and even if you get one, you just have to finish stacking orbs for the other one to unlock it, right?
Yes, and it's like way more easy to track. Like you can see them both and stuff. So
Okay.
it's overall just a lot better, I think.
Right.
And also for Kane, like here's a change that I feel like is no one's like talking about. His ult. They're adding his ult, so like before you can like pop out at 300 range. Now you can pop out between 300 and 500 depending on how far you shoot the skill shot. I think that's a huge change.
That's actually pretty big, yeah. That gives him a lot more chance to, like, sneak out, right?
Yeah, that's a huge change. Nico, W clone haste duration increased. Clone travels in target direction rather than pathing to target's location. R no longer slows, but Nico lands faster after jumping. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, so like it follows them now, like actual pathing rather than just running straight, I guess. That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
That's interesting. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that character. I don't think she's good.
I think
think
this makes her better, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'll see a lot of Nico play still for a while.
I'm glad they didn't go through with the change where they were just going to give her 20% pen on her ult.
Yeah, that'd be a fucked solution.
Glad they didn't do that.
Ornn, health base and armor base both increased. So, wow, 36 armor at level 1 and 590 health at level 1?
He needed it, though. Like, if he's still going to be a top laner.
No, but I don't think he is a top laner anymore. I think he's a jungler and a support. And that's real good.
I mean, this is the problem with these changes. They're trying to make him still good in top, but he's just going to be even better in those other roles. Interesting.
Yeah, I think he's still going to just be a jungler and a support, but a really good one at this point. Like, that's 25 health and 3 more armor. That's real good.
Yeah. Here's a character that's not good at all in solo queue. Rakan, armor decrease, W dash speed decrease, but activates faster upon reaching destination. So they're continuing to nerf this character that is terrible in solo queue because he's OP in competitive play.
Yep.
Rakan's dead, dude. I don't know how you can play this character in solo queue.
I think the only way you play him in solo queue is, like, if you have a really strong engaged duo. Like, if you're playing, like, Rakan and they're playing, like, Malphite, maybe you could do something, but...
Yeah.
You just need so much more commitment than you're going to need out of a solo queue team, and, like, you need the vision and the prep time, which you don't get. I think this is just, like, they're just fucking driving nails into his coffin for non-competitive play.
It was just like one of my favorite things, though. Like, I love the mechanic of that your W scaled with your movement speed, right? So if you had Moby's plus, I think a Talisman's the speed one, right? You'd pop like Moby's Talisman, and then you W and you like fucking just zip to them. But now, like, it's just boring. So, oh well.
Shyvana, passive bonus damage to dragon increased. E mark damage increased. Now she does 20% to dragon instead of plus 10, and then her E is up to 3.25 from 2.5 percentage max health. So that's actually really strong there, like buffs.
Yeah, 20% is huge to dragon.
Mm-hmm. And especially like if we see a lot more tank junglers, which I've been seeing a decent amount, like slow style tank junglers, that makes Shyvana stronger. One, because like she can solo dragon with less threat, and now also that more percentage max health. Like those are some good changes for her. We might see her come back a bit.
Yeah. Another character that I love playing that Riot hates because he's good and competitive and bad to solo queue is Tom Kench. So they're making it so allies who are in combat can't use your ult anymore. That was one of my favorite mechanics, was you have someone who's like trading or something, or you start channeling your ult and then they can immediately jump in and get out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a little cheesy, don't get me wrong, but it's just like it's just constant nerfs because he's like too strong and competitive. But oh well, it's just sad.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb, I think. Like, it means that there's like, this skill is only an in and is not an out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's dumb.
Oh well, what can you do?
Yeah. Urgot, armor decreased, Q cost increased, W cooldown increased. Early. So just nerfing his early game because how strong his late is, I think that's fine. Like, as an Urgot player, I don't like it, but...
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think the W change is like the big one though. 4 seconds on a pretty important ability is pretty bad.
But I mean, it goes away pretty quick. Like, you're not in most games, you're not really doing anything until you're like level 9 anyway.
Yeah. Cool. Volibear. E bonus damage versus dashing / airborne targets changed to max health. R ratio increased. On cast lightning happens faster. Lightning now bounces instantly. So those are some nice changes, I think. Especially the max health one, the Majestic Roar change. That's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, that makes you can like run in there and flip a tank into the team, which is what you kind of have to do, and it actually matters then.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. I Thunderclaws only has an AP ratio, right? What if they gave it like a health ratio?
I know, it needs something.
Yeah, or like even if you had like bonus tenacity while it was up or something to make that character good. Anyway, Yorick.
I was just gonna quickly say, like, when the patch notes went up, I was like saw them I think 8 minutes after they went up on Reddit, and one of the first comments on the thread was, "More Volibear buffs? What the fuck?" I'm like, Christ, dude.
Strong
the casual
point.
player base is awful.
Dude, Aiden, it's we're on one end of the spectrum where we're mad because they're nerfing things that are good and competitive, and there's other people who are pissed because they're buffing things that are good in bronze.
It's wild, man.
Yeah. Yorick, the maiden now follows Yorick when he leaves lane. Maiden health scales better with game time. Graves spawn at a faster rate for his Q. Mistwalkers and the maiden no longer deal less damage when far from Yorick. Okay, so just a little bit of some tweaks there.
That changes how his ult like functions though. Before it was like only a split pushing tool. Maybe it can be like a team fighting tool now though.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Zyra, mana regen decreased. Good. She always has full mana at all points in the game forever.
Yeah, I don't know if 2 mana per 5 seconds is going to change that.
I hopefully she'll be like low at some points though. Like, she needs
Probably
something,
not.
man.
I think they need to lower that more.
Yeah, 13 is a lot per 5.
Yeah. Quality of life changes and fixes for Evelynn. So the way Q prioritizes things. Her W doesn't fizzle if she loses sight. Whiplash no longer occasionally drops Eve directly on top of her target. And ult can now be buffered during your Whiplash cast. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So you can like dash in ult out with, faster.
That's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Kled. So this one went live last patch, but jousting through minions is no longer likely to stack them directly on top of each other. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So a couple, what is this, minimap, targeting, so just, okay, they turned off the, like, pinging something's in, your ult is in range for Lux and Nami ult.
I think what they actually did, what they're trying to say here, Colton, is, like, there's abilities in the game where you can click them on the minimap, like, and then they'll fire that way. They turned it off for Nami ult and Lux ult because people were misclicking on the minimap too often or something.
Gotcha.
Which is a weird change for only 2 characters. And
Yeah. I feel like there aren't really skills that you would cast on the minimap. Like, the only one I can think of is Gangplank. Alt.
Yeah, Gangplank ult is probably one...
Gangplank and Pantheon.
Yeah.
Because, like, Nocturne, you click on them. I guess TF ult, too. I don't know. That's weird. But that's just...
And besides, like, I feel like the way more common thing is clicking on your teammates' portraits above the minimap.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's weird. What a weird fucking change for only 2 characters.
Yeah.
Oblivion Orb. Cost increase, ability power decrease. Good, that item's OP.
And Merlinomicon AP is also down. So overall, just a worse item. Wouldn't it be an easy way to fix that? What if Oblivion Orb only gave, like, 5 spell pen, or, like, 10 spell pen, and then you had to upgrade it to Merlinomicon to get the full effect?
Or hear me out, Colton. Even better. This makes even more sense. Fucking make the pen on the Merlinomicon and make the Grievous Wounds on the Oblivion Orb.
Way better.
So you can't get a fucking 1,500 gold pen item.
And also so that you don't have to be a 3,000 gold, Grievous Wounds items when 80 carries have it for 850 and tanks have it for 1,000.
See, isn't that like such an easy change, though?
Such an easy change.
Holy fuck, I'm tilted. Sunfire Cape, cost decreased. That's kind of good. That item was a little bit sad.
Yeah, dude, people don't buy it anymore. I remember when Sunfire Cape was every top laner's dream. Everyone wanted Sunfire Cape. Best of times. Rune changes, overheal. Ally healing grants less shields, and self-healing grants more shields late. Shield decays gradually instead of immediately, so it chips away at itself, and just the healing conversion rates change. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. Legend Bloodline. Lifesteal per stack decreased, but max stacks doubled, so like you can now get up to 12% max lifesteal, but it takes longer. I think that's cool.
I think it's cool. It irritates me in my OCD brain because I liked how it used to be 8 and Blade of the Ruin King and Tiamat were both 12, so you'd end up with a flat 20.
Yeah.
And now you don't. But it's just
flat
better,
24.
so it's fine. Yeah, and even 24. Just make it 13 so it can be a 25. Come on. That's not that much stronger. Cut down rune. Bonus damage is lowered? Wait. Bonus damage scales based on % max health difference rather than flat max health difference. Maximum bonus decrease. So it does less damage, but it's better if you're squishy and taking it. So, like, it's percentage difference. So I guess if you're real low, it'll do more? That's weird. I don't...
So I guess it stops tanks who are less tanky than other tanks from doing well with it, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's their thing. Here's a good one, Colton. I don't fucking understand this. Absolute Focus. Adaptive stats decreased. Why are they nerfing this one? I don't understand. No one takes
all the pros take it.
Oh, pros take it? Okay, because like literally
all the pros take it. Absolute Focus. It gives stupid amounts of stats.
It does give stupid amounts of stats, but I think it's. I guess in pro play it makes sense, right? But in fucking solo queue, I don't think I've ever seen someone take this ever.
I think it's one of those that, like, it just doesn't seem good, but it actually is really good. Because, like, I don't know, it's like 6 AD, 10 AP at level 1. Mm-hmm. It's actually really good, so I can see why they're doing this. I would like to see them just make it a rune that doesn't feel like shit.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
What if it scaled up, like, rather than being 70% and that's your cutoff? Like, make it scale between, like, 30% and 100% or something like that. You know what I mean?
Either that or, like, if there was, like, a cutoff at, like, you know, if you're, like, above half, you get some. If you're above 3/4, you get more. But if you're under half, you get none from it or something.
It just feels bad getting cut off from it immediately. Yeah,
like, you take, like, 2 autos in lane, and you're like, well, lose that. Mm-hmm. But I guess, honestly, like, and especially in higher level play, everyone's at, like, full HP all the time, unless they're in a, like, fight that kills them.
Yeah.
right? Where they're just like, well, no, we're just farming, and you're farming, and I'm farming, and our junglers are farming, and it's 20 minutes first hour.
Yeah, I feel it, yeah.
Rune stats, adaptive damage in the little extra tree has been decreased. Armor and magic resist increased because they weren't tuned properly. That's fine.
I think
I'm totally fine with that. The only thing I don't really like right now is that top tree, I feel like, should also have... Like, I think it would be almost better if it was just, like, 3 rows but, like, 5 columns, and just everything had all of them, and you could just pick.
Okay, that'd be interesting. So you could go
It's like,
triple AD or triple adaptive, I mean? Like...
Yeah, right, or at least the thing I don't like is, like, sometimes I feel like on that top row, I'm just like, well, I don't really care about attack speed or damage, so I guess I'll take cooldown reduction. Mm-hmm. But I also don't really want to wait until level, 18 to get my cooldown reduction.
Yeah, I feel you.
Even if they just added, like, one more to that top row, I'd be fine.
Mm-hmm. Ignite. Damage and cooldown decreased. So they're making Ignite do less damage, but it's on a 30-second lower cooldown. So I think that's cool.
I think it absolutely does too much damage right now.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a good change, though. I feel like I'm fine with it being up more often and doing less damage.
Mm-hmm. I'd be fine. Like, I would love to see it even, like, further damage down, like, even more, and make it just go longer with, like, the effect of reduced healing. I think that'd be, like, just because free damage on a summoner spell, I don't really like that conceptually. But, hey, we're going to do this to, like, impede your healing. I like that more. Mm-hmm. Right? Instead of, like, having to buy that item, I can just take Ignite. That's just me. Game pacing changes. Baron buff is weaker in the early game and it scales better later. Alright, that's fine. Because people would just get one Baron and win.
Yeah. I feel like it was too... If you had an early Baron, it was too strong, was the main problem. For Inhibitor and Nexus turrets, they have late game resistances at all times. So now they're... Yeah, that's actually cool. That's actually 70 armor and magic resist at all times. That's really good, I think.
Yeah, harder to crack the base. That definitely just makes games go longer, which I'm fine with. Jungle camp experience scaling is decreased. Rift Scuttle gold scaling also decreased, so slowing down to the jungle. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. We'll have to see. Challenging smite damage decrease no longer grants vision of the target. That's probably fine. That was the better smite by like a fair bit, I think.
Yeah. I think definitely. I'd be fine if they added in a new smite again, like...
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just 2 choices now. I feel like 2 choices feels really shitty. I think there should at least be 3.
Having the 6 was too many, though, or like 5 or whatever it was before, with like all.
It was 5 very, very briefly. Then it went down to 4. Then it went down to 3 real quickly again, and it was 3 for the longest time, where we had wards, challenging smite, and or whatever blue smite is fucking called.
Yeah.
Because the white smite was always garbage, where you took their camps. That was just bad.
Unless you were like smurfing. If you were smurfing, it was real good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think, like, there's definitely plenty of room there for them to add in more smites to make other junglers good.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly, like, tank jungles and AP jungles.
Yeah.
Like, there could be a smite that you're just, like, when you smite a camp, like, not only do you get health back, but you also get, like, a chunk of mana back. Right? Like, there's plenty of ways you could go about it. But
I think that's smart, yeah.
Bug fixes. I don't know. I don't think any of them are super impactful.
The only notable one was the Mordekaiser one. They finally fixed the bug where he'd get double shield from, like, both the circles, sort of thing. But
okay, yeah.
That was a problem for, like, a while.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they also fixed the Fiora thing. I saw a lot of Fiora mains talking about that. Since Pyke's release, Fiora's riposte didn't block Xalt.
Hell yeah. Fuck Fiora. Riposte. Fuck that stupid ability and Fiora players.
Yeah. For skins, though, we have they're the Chinese New Year new skins. We have Firecracker Vayne, Sejuani, Coin Emperor, Tom Kench, and Firecracker Vayne Prestige Edition. How good is that Tom Kench skin? So fucking good is the answer.
I'm looking at him right now. Give me a sec.
It
All
might
right,
be
so
one of my
Tom
favorite things.
Kench. Hell yeah.
Whew.
Sejuani, that's okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
Who's this? Jinx?
Vayne. I might have said Jinx.
Oh,
when
no,
I
yeah, it's Vayne. It's Vayne, yeah. Why? Stop with all this prestige nonsense, Riot.
Yeah.
You wanna know it's not prestigious? When every skin is prestigious.
Look at the chromas for Sejuani. Does that change your opinion of her at all? Because it changes mine a little bit. You get different colored pigs, dude.
Okay, that's actually way better, yeah.
Yeah.
If you can have a bunch of different colored pigs, then it's way cooler.
Yeah. Other than that, though,
You
just,
can get bristle chromas.
yeah, that's all I really want. Get fucking horse armor, kind of. Yeah, so I'm super excited. I'm definitely gonna get that Tom Kench skin because it looks really good.
Yeah.
What's next? What do we have? Upcoming Vi
yes,
changes?
There was a post from a rioter saying basically, yeah, they're going to be making some changes to Vi like soon. TM. It didn't really give a firm date, but the gist of it's basically like tweaks here, tweaks there. It looks like they're making her more of like a tankier character, or at least they're trying to. And it looked like they also pushed a little bit more CC into her kit, where just like her CCs were longer and like more, effective.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm fine with that. I think Vi is another character that like I wish had a better role in the game, where it was just like bruisers that do a little bit of damage, but are primarily meant to just be like tanky initiators, right? Where like I think she fits the same role that I'd like to see Jarvan in, but both of them are really only good when they do 1 billion damage.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I was thinking about this a couple of days ago. I'm not sure if I think there was a post talking about like strength creep in the game for like characters and stuff, right? Like there's obviously like mobility creep and stuff, but one of them was for like Vi. I think Nick's talked about this as well. If you look at like a new character's like ability, it's like a page long of like shit about it, whereas if you look at an old character, it's like one line. I think Vi is a great example. I remember when Vi came out, dude, and I looked at her denting blows, and I'm like, wait, so she gets to auto attack apply like a debuff, which gives bonus physical damage when like you proc it, and she gets attack speed and it reduces armor. Holy fuck, this character's wild. And now that's one of her worst abilities. Like she's just been like ability creeped on. Like honestly.
Yeah, right. We're like characters now. You read like one ability and it's just like, give me 2 minutes. To break this down, understand what the fuck this basic ability does. But yeah, they're tuning up older characters. I'm all on board with that. Season 9 trailer came out, so they talked about a bunch of things. Some like changes to Earth coming up, and probably it's gonna be playable for a little bit. New support champions coming out, and there was like a spell book when they talked about that. So probably a caster control type support.
Yeah.
Morgana and Kale reworks are coming up this year, so that'll be cool.
I'm so excited
as,
for that.
Ranked stuff we already talked about.
Yeah.
And then last little bit of news: Nexus Blitz, RIP, you're gone for now. They'll come back with it soon. It was here for a long time though.
Yeah. I enjoy it. I feel like it gets a little bit boring after a while. I feel like they constantly have to add new game modes into it.
Well, I think it was here for like the whole preseason. What if just during preseason when ranked is down, they just unlock all of the game modes?
What if you could queue for random game mode? Oh,
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, like just while ranked is down, you can queue for random game mode.
I think good.
I think that, but like, I think that'd be cool. But I'd rather just have them all available like on their own, because like sometimes you want to play just one. And some of the game modes have, like, character limitations, right? Where you're like, you need 6, you need, like, 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think having, like, a bunch of game modes during off-season is actually really cool. I don't think that that's what they were exactly doing, so I think they would have announced it. But if they did that going forward, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. One more thing that I just popped up like an hour or two ago on Reddit was so like you know how you get Medieval Twitch and Grey Warwick for getting Honor 5 capsules and stuff? They're making it so this season, because now that everyone has like those two, assuming you've been Honor 5 for the last 2 seasons, they're making it so there's chromas for it that you can unlock, which is I think is a really cool idea to continue giving prizes for being honorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not just prestige editions?
Honestly, though. Fucking Honor Edition, dude.
that I can spend $100 on.
Yeah, fuck. That's they're not getting enough shit for that. Do you want to move on to our Metakaiser thing that we're kind of doing?
Yeah. So this week's Metakaiser, basically, we're just talking about like Sivir and Ezreal right now are both top tier 80 carries. Why? Because of the changes to Sivir's Q and Ezreal's ult. So the fact that they do full damage across a full team now just makes them so much stronger. Because, like, baseline, it doesn't sound that good. But, like, when you think about it, it's like Sivir Q now does 50% more damage to their 80 carry in a team fight. Mm-hmm. Like, when you phrase it that way, which is the real effect of it, it's like, oh, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Sivir and Ezreal now both real strong. Sivir's always had crazy, wave clear and that like 500 CS win condition, but now her laning is stronger. Her team fights are just stronger sooner.
I do think there's one more thing to that. So we both know 80 carries are weak right now. I think Ezreal and Sivir are in different ways, are good ways of playing 80 carry while playing it in a bad role. Ezreal, because he never dies to these assassins or bruisers or tanks or even supports that you see other 80 carries dying to, because he like can peel for himself. You can go blue Ezreal and then you just never die because you have armor, slows, shields. You can get fucking Seraph and Murmur.
Right, you get your Seraph shield and you're thinking like, yeah, you're unkillable on Ezreal. And even though you end up with a lot of gold, you're pretty low econ.
Yeah, and then
right?
Sivir on the other Sivir on the other hand is a 80 carry that plays support for her team with her ult. Like, they're both ways to play that role without really playing 80 carry, which I think accents why they're so good in this current meta.
Yeah. You know what I just thought of that I think would actually be pretty cool? Is, like... I'm trying to think, right, like, they're both... Like, Sivir, I think, is the most supportive 80 carry in the game. Right? I'm trying to think if there's anyone else that's even really close.
I'll look it up, but I don't think
Maybe, like,
so.
Ashe...
She used to be more supportive, I'd say Ashe, but not maybe anymore.
What if there was like an 80 carry that like applied marks with their autos that it was just like this character takes like 1% more damage per mark or something from your allies, right? Like kind of like Callista Spears, but just like they just take more damage from your allies.
That's an interesting concept. It's kind of like when you play when we played what was that mode? The like PvE mode. And you played the version of Jinx with the, not Ascension. Fuck, what was it called?
Yeah, Odyssey?
Odyssey. When we played Odyssey, like, you played the Jinx build where you just, like, constantly debuff the enemies by attacking them. That's a really cool fucking idea for an 80 carry.
Yeah, right, where it's like, I guess that'd be really close to just, like, and I think it would probably then be, like, a Black Cleaver character, probably. But I think that it could be really cool and interesting, where it's just, like, they're not gonna do as much damage as other carries, but your team will do more. Right, and like again, prioritizing that front to back team fight kind of thing.
I feel like that's a cool idea, honestly. Yeah. It'd be hard to balance, but it'd be really cool.
Yeah, and I think the way that they would probably do it is just be like, this character's autos reduce their armor. Which I don't think is the way you do that. They'd have to drop off pretty quick, I think. Anyway.
Is there anything else about Ezreal or Sivir that we want to talk about? Mainly, like, they're just really... I feel like they just do better than any other 80 carry. And also, Sivir also has the benefit of getting out of laning phase and then starting to help your team earlier in the game. Like, you can just auto-shove waves forever, get all their tower gold by having them constantly under tower, and then you can go take more tower gold, get objectives, do whatever with your ult.
I mean, they're both, effective at, taking tower plates. Ezreal because of his W, Sivir because of her wave clear strength. They're both, just fine if they don't have a lot of gold, and if they're behind, like, they still can do what they need to do. They both, like, are pretty able to get out of bad situations, right, with a spell shield movement speed boost, and just a free flash out of Ezreal. Like, I think they're very similar in a lot of ways that you wouldn't think baseline that Sivir and Ezreal are very similar. Because in a lot of ways they're like exact opposites. But I think they fit the same role right now, which is why they're both very strong. On top of the fact that those buffs were huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Metakaiser.
Hell yeah.
Sivir and Ezreal, watch him in LCS, play him in a ranked game, lose your team the game.
Yeah. Last week's roundtable question was, what champion are you the worst at and why? On our Facebook, Corey said, Karthus, don't know why, not a hard champion, but still can't do him. So I was trying to analyze some of these. I think Karthus is hard for a lot of players because he has a playstyle that completely switches at a point in the game based on where you are and where the enemies are. You go from playing a very slow, I guess level 1, you're kind of aggressive, but other than level 1, you're pretty slow and you're just sitting back, kind of chilling. By the end of the game, full items, you're just diving. And I feel like that's a hard playstyle to adapt to, as the game changes.
Yeah, it's hard to dial that in where you're not diving in early game and just inting, but you're also waiting until you're strong. Yeah, it's hard to adjust your playstyle heavily throughout a game.
Yeah. James said, Xerath, feels good to miss every ability plus all your ulti in a matter of seconds. Tom said, I'm so bad at Draven I refuse to play him even in ARAM. Shockingly, he doesn't do a lot of damage if you never catch an axe. Dustin said, Zed, Akali, and Lee Sin because my ability to keep track of multiple activations of a skill combined with general mechanics is awful. Yeah, I kind of have the same problem with reactive. It's more like the fact that I think you just have to grind those characters until you get the timer in your head because you can't really watch the ability countdown. You kind of have to know it, I think. From our Discord, sorry, if you want to say something.
No, definitely. Those are you just have to get the feel of it.
Yeah.
Which I don't have because I don't really play those characters. I haven't played Zed and Lee Sin for a while.
Zed's a lot of fun in ARAM. I feel like he's one of my favorite ARAM characters.
No, I absolutely love Zed and Lee Sin. I realize I'm not good enough on them that I should be playing them. Right, where I can play Lee Sin at a D4 level, but I absolutely cannot play Lee Sin at a D1 level.
Yeah, we'll get to it in a second, but when we get to the LCS/competitive thing, because LL Stylish was in the finals for Rift Rivals, man, watching him play Zed is just crazy. The fact that he can juke a spectator is wild. Anyways, from our Discord, basically Cancer said, Pantheon, I can't stand having no options beyond his Q spam into stun combo. It just feels way too one-dimensional. That's, I think, the main reason why I don't play him in ranked. I feel like your win condition is you smash dickhole in early, but as soon as you stop doing that, you just don't play the game. You just don't have fun, and I feel like that's kind of lame. Azeroth said, Elise, I've tried so hard to learn her for months, but I just feed every goddamn time. And last but not least, a scientist said, how do people play Leona? She has no poke, no sustain, and if she gets hurt. Both of these give her no pressure. She has pretty good CC, but no escape in case the CC doesn't work. Her ult isn't bad, but it's only as good as a Morgana Q with a really long cooldown. Please tell me your secrets, Leona mains. I feel like you play more Leona than me. Why do you think Leona's good?
Having plus 200 resists when you get W and Aftershock is huge. The fact that Aftershock procs when you land the E, you just win every trade with that pretty much. Excuse me. She's, I think, the tankiest support aside from ulting Alistar.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's probably why she's so good. Plus, she has matching or better damage than most. Her ultimate, I think, is way better than Morgana Q, because, it can stun multiple. Even if you miss it, it's a slow, if you don't hit it dead on. And the range is huge. You can just grab free flashes with it on, a 35-second cooldown.
I also feel like a big thing that a lot of players who are picking up Leona don't realize is their damage compared to 80 carries damage, or the whole trading way. If you can 1v1 at 80 carry for so long because Aftershock plus your W makes them do 0 damage for say 3 or 4 seconds sort of thing. Then you have your E, which is CC, and your Q, which is CC, and your ult, which is CC. You can time all that without overlapping it, and you can just let them do no damage for 6 or 7 seconds while you're dishing it out. I feel like you can just out-trade 80 carries, which is crazy.
Yeah. I think another thing, which is just a real small thing, but actually can add up, is the fact that you can solo clear a ward when it's placed. Right, with an auto Q auto. Not a huge deal, but that's really nice, and especially later in the game when you're clearing vision, being able to clear a ward half a second faster than anyone else. Again, it's a small thing, but it does kind of add up where you don't have to extend as long for that control ward, and maybe you don't die where you would have if you were playing Janna or something. But yeah, those are just some things. I personally love Leona. You can just go ham and fucking take names.
Yeah. So this week's roundtable question, though, I think this one's kind of interesting, is who do you think are the most iconic characters for each role? I can really only come up with a mid and jungle, personally.
That's really tough for me, because, like, I think my perspective of it is a lot different for, like, how long I've played the game. So, I mean, you and I probably have pretty similar outlooks on it. But, like, people who have come into the game more recently probably have way different answers to this.
Yeah.
So most iconic characters for each role.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think mid lane, I think probably like Orianna.
I think Orianna as well. That's the one I immediately go to.
When I think jungle, I think Lee Sin.
Yep, you got my two, dude. That's so, like, those are the two.
When I think AD carry, I think Ashe.
Okay, so
I was like the AD carry at the start of the game, right?
Yeah, I still think either Caitlyn or Lucian though right now.
Okay, I can see Caitlyn and Lucian, but to me, like when I think AD carry, I just immediately think Ashe, right? Because she was like the starter one. In the same way that like I don't really think Garen is probably my first thought, but he's definitely like top 3 for top.
Yeah.
Support probably Soraka.
Yeah, so it's weird. The one I go to, and I feel like it's not right, is Sona.
Sona was probably like immediately after I thought Soraka, I thought Sona. And then I thought like Lulu, but then I was like, those are just all the Enchantress. But like, I feel like it to me it's Soraka, right? Because it's just like, what's the character that just gives you health? Like, right? Which one's Mercy?
Yeah, that's
Soraka. Yeah, and then top lane.
I keep going to Garen as well, but I feel like Garen's not right.
Like, I think top lane's more of a pool. Like, I thought Garen a little bit. I thought Shen for a second. Top's tough.
Yeah.
Singed.
See, I would put Riven before I put Singed.
Yeah.
It's top's probably the hardest one, I would say.
Top's pretty open. Yeah, I think Garen's the easy answer though.
Yeah, I'm curious what people will say though. Like maybe we can like compile all the answers together or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll give a percentage. So if you want to answer this week's roundtable question, you can hit us up on Facebook at Leakcast, send us an email, mail at leakcastpodcast.com, or come into our Discord and post in our roundtable question section. That's where we get most of our responses. So feel free to join.
Yeah. Cheese pick this week, just for you, buddy. Hail of Blades, Tom Kench. So you played Tom Kench top earlier this week, just like a day or two ago. How did you
He's
feel?
bad.
Yeah, they took away like 100 AD at level 1, but you can still cheese, and if you're gonna cheese, might as well cheese even harder with Hail of Blades to get your 3 autos like instantly, stun him up, munch him up, try and press that early game as hard as you can. Probably not too great in the long run because you won't be tanky like you would be if you took Grasp of the Undying and like bonus healing and stuff, but it seems fun to just cheese somebody with. So that's the point, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna pair that with Stony Cross cheese, which is like a UK British type cheese with like a mold rind, and it's like a lighter cheese. So that's this is just a light cheese because you're still basically playing Tom Kench the same way. You just cheese harder at the beginning.
So I was thinking about running Press the Attack on him because I feel like Grasp actually wasn't that good. Like now that you're not as tanky, like you can't stay in trades for as long. So I was thinking of running Press the Attack, honestly. Like he just feels bad, man. You can't take 80 HP off like a character and then have him. I guess he's not meant for that role, so why am I complaining? But still, it's annoying.
What if his Q applied on hit? What if it was just like your Q was just like actually a ranged auto with a slow? Like you could proc your Grasp with it. Is basically what I'm saying.
I mean, then yeah, he'd be really good. I feel like Grasp would be really good on him, like almost OP on him. Yeah, I don't know.
But like your auto attack is just you slap him with your tongue anyway. So your Q should be an auto attack and proc your Grasp.
Right, please.
So that's cheese pick. LCS. I don't think anything really big happened in any of the leagues. I haven't watched
really.
any of this. Like, I've really only watched LCK, where all of the newer teams are smashing, and SKT. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, I learned that if you're trying to get your like watch rewards, apparently LCK isn't programmed properly on the League of Legends website, because I watched about 8 games of LCK, didn't get any rewards. Fast forwarded through 1 game of EU LCS, got my reward.
I'm pretty sure LCK isn't a region that qualifies for that.
It says any global league though on
I'm
the,
pretty sure.
like,
I remember there
on
being
the quest.
complaints about it being LCK not being in there.
Yeah.
I don't know why though.
Yeah, it's only like the Premier League of League of Legends. I guess maybe China.
Yeah.
You could make that argument too.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's still only like top 2 leagues. My bad.
Yeah.
So
So
Rivals. Yeah.
Twitch Rivals finals happened. It was between Easy Clap and One Tricks. Easy Clap was the team with Revenge, the Riven player, Chase Shaco, Pokimane, X Chocobars, and Natsumi, versus One Tricks, which was I Really Carries You, Captain Monk, LL Stylish, Your Princess, and Swifty. So both teams pretty well played the exact same comp both games. I think the only exception was LL Stylish played Vel'Koz in the first game, then he played Zed in the next 2. And holy shit, that was one of the most fun series I've watched in a long time. Like, it's kind of boring, like, not seeing different champion picks or different how, like, ban phase and stuff like that adapts. But I think I prefer, like, seeing crazy outplays and stuff like that. Like, it was just so much fun.
Yeah,
Easy Clap did take it, though.
It's fun watching people play champions they've got that much mastery on, and getting those highlight reel plays just more often. I would totally be fine if, and I don't think it'll ever happen, but like if they brought back the old OGN Game 5 blind pick.
Yeah.
Either that, or even if they had like a blind pick tournament sometime. Like, I think that'd be kind of funny.
I feel like blind pick's such a cool idea, though, because like it punishes those who don't play the best things, like who don't always adapt. Like, say if you're like a mid on a good team and you don't play the best mid laner right now, but then you just ban it out, right? You get punished if it goes to game 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that'd be fun, but I don't think they'll ever add it back.
Probably not, no.
But overall,
only in like a fun thing, right? Like, I would only
Yeah.
ever see blind pick, I think, in like in a fun tournament, where I'd be fine with that though, right? If it was like Rift Rivals or something,
yeah, that'd be good.
or Versus or whatever those other modes are that aren't actual competitive events.
I do have something to pick though with this series, if that's fine.
Yeah.
Not to like make this a fucking different topic, but so I thought it was a lot of fun. The whole tournament was like a pretty fun. Obviously, the balancing of teams is kind of a little bit hard because you have a lot of challenger players. You have, I think, the lowest players in the tournament were like gold sort of thing. But in the final match, I think everyone was either diamond, somewhere between diamond 5 and challenger last season, right? That being said, people there was a post about this. I think one of the teams that came, I think, between like the 8th and 5th spot was like one of the guys made a post about saying, "Hey, stop flaming the not like high yield players. The whole point of the tournament is like it's a fun tournament where like we pair up teams and they're kind of balanced and stuff like that." Dude, people are like ridiculous. I do think part of it's the fact that fucking gamer bros are women hating fucks. Not to like get all social justice warrior, but I definitely feel like there's a lot of undertones in that. But holy shit, dude, shitting on bad players in the tournament is like it. Holy shit, the good players understand they're gonna have to carry the game. They're like Pokimane got like a ton of shit where she's playing this Aftershock Lissandra every game, and guess what? She didn't do very well against LL Stylish and Shifter. No shit, they're fucking challenger mid players. like it's crazy, dude. They're like every single comment, like there's so many comments in this final game thread where it's like, oh, Revenge and Chase Shaco should get like a bigger split of the money because they had to carry 3 wards. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck
it's
do you
a
mean?
fucking for fun tournament. Like you want to know how you no more of these?
Yeah.
That's how you just get no more of these tournaments ever, is with this nonsense.
Yeah, like it's like no shit. The 2 800-point challenger players on this team played better than the 3 diamond like 5 and 4 players. Like no shit, those players didn't do well against like challenger counterparts. It's just wild, and like I don't know, it just felt like there's just so many like fucking gamer girls, cam girl comments. Like it's crazy that those aren't downvoted comments in my opinion. They're not like they're not highly upvoted like to the top of the page or anything, but they're like 100-point, 50-point comments like that are getting upvoted saying like fucking useless 3 teammates sort of thing. And if you listen to like any team's comms, like I listened to mainly Yasuo's stream, who's like going to every different stream and like switching between them. It felt like everyone was just having a fun time. Like, no one was mad at each other and shit, dude. But fucking people act like it's life or death for a fun tournament, and that people who don't do well in a matchup where they're against a challenger player should be like shit on, and that's wild to me.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that like that's how things are.
Yeah, I don't know. And like once again, I thought it was really cool. Like you saw different things develop because obviously Shaco and Revenge are gonna play Riven and Shaco every game, so they got Chocobars and Natsumi to play Vel'Koz Viger every game, which that's a super fucking cool lane to see every single game. And no one like counterpicked it, which was interesting, I thought.
Yeah, that was odd. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a good tournament. It was a lot of fun, and I would love to see it happen again sometime. Like continual fun things like that. Maybe with like better production quality in terms of casting.
The actual stream was really sad. Like they got a lot of cool personalities for it. Like they had Mark Z on it. They had Freak a couple times. They had Rivington I saw, but and no one was like high energy. They were all just like chilling on a couch, just like chilling. Like
yeah. Like, I'd rather watch, it was really low energy, I think is the right way to describe that when I watched it. Like, it just seems like it didn't care at all.
There's definitely a reason why Yasuo had, like, 60,000 viewers for the final, and the official Twitch Prime stream had, like, I think 20,000 or 30,000. Like, I guess my last thing is I just hope that it doesn't discourage anyone from playing in it, sort of thing, for like just people being shit on, like any of the low elo players. Like Captain Monk was, I think, the lowest elo player on One Tricks, and don't get me wrong, he didn't play well, but he's also jungling against a 800-point challenger Shaco main, right? So I don't know. I just hope people don't like get upset and don't play next time. Like,
yeah. And one more email from Ice Cursor, aka Phil. Says, hey guys, first off, thanks for the rundown of the teams last time. I'm looking at maybe supporting Cloud9, but Sneaky just seems like such a douchebag. So that leaves me with Fox and CLG. I'll have to look at them this week. I disagree. Sneaky's great.
Yeah, Sneaky W.
And he's cute.
Yeah.
And he makes me question my sexuality.
Yeah.
So the question... I have a buddy of mine that started playing League at the same time I did a few years ago. The difference between us is that he's a one-trick pony Gnar, only started playing Zoe like a month ago, and I started learning different champs and roles. He also plays double the amount of time that I do. Like, actually, I'm level 111 and he's 220, and he won the most played Gnar award from League NA. Is that just he has the most games of ranked of Gnar out of anyone? I don't know.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Here's the kicker. He only plays lock screen. I get that once you're comfortable with something, it's hard to change it, but would it benefit him to change to unlocked versus current lock screen? Pros and cons. I think unlocked screen is definitively better. I think that you can get challenger with lock screen.
Once again,
I know challenger players that play lock screen.
We were literally talking about Yasuo about 2 minutes ago. Yasuo, fucking like 800-point challenger Yasuo One Trick, plays lock screen.
Yeah, like, it's one of those things that it's just, like, it's better to do it one way, but you being a good player is what really matters. And I think that, like, you just need to develop then other tools to know what's going on around you, like being more aware of the mini-map, maybe looking around the corners of your screen more, and just in general, maybe having, like, better reaction time. Again, I would always recommend to play on lock screens so you can look around at things easier, but again, you can get to challenger playing either way, so like I don't think anyone really should be saying like you have to do it one way or another. Yeah. But Sneaky's great. Cloud9's great. Thanks for the email, Phil, aka Ice
Hell yeah.
Cursor.
Is that the end of the show, Colton?
Dude, that's the end of the show. We fucking did it without Nick, and this is the best show we've ever had.
Yeah, if you want more Nicholas podcasts, let us know. Send us an email so Nick has to read them.
Ice Cursor's in the channel right now. You got to hear our response live.
Yeah, we want to hear.
You guys can...
less Nick shows. But honestly, though, this is the end of the show sort of thing. If you want to hit us up on Twitter, you can follow @LeagueCast or @LeagueCastFrost. Hey, the second one is mine. I tweet sometimes. And then the first one is also kind of mine because I sometimes tweet on that one. If you want to follow us on Facebook, that'd be super, super cool. It's @LeagueCast as well. You can join our TeamSpeak, which is ts.leaguecastpodcast.com. If you want to send us an email like Phil or Ice Cursor right there, you can hit us up at mail@leaguecastpodcast.com. If you want to follow our Twitches, we stream sometimes. Colton streams at twitch.tv/bluebasket, and Nick streams at twitch.tv/kinglardout. If you really, 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 really like us, you can hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/leaguecast. You can toss us a couple bones, and we got some cool stuff in there. I think that's the end of the show.
You and I only have to fight over $1 instead of us fighting over $2.
Pog, dude. Anything else, or I think this is the end?
Yeah, Discord is on our website. You can message us on League or anywhere, really. We had a tournament this week that was on my Twitch stream. I'm going to try and do more of those. Ideally, I'd like to do 5s tournaments instead of 1v1s, but those are a little bit harder to get people for. So if you're interested, please let us know, on Facebook, on Discord, on Twitter, anywhere. Like, I would like to be able to have a 5v5 tournament with more than 3 teams like we had last time. Because I think that's really fun. So, if you are interested and have other people that you'd want to play with, I think it'll be a lot of fun. So hopefully we can do that soon.
Cool. Thanks for listening.
That's all I have.
Bye.
Bye.